So in my previous video, I discussed the impact of insufficient or no training can be enormously on performance and trust of employees in their own capabilities. Well, same goes for bad training. So two examples of wrong training is only telling or only showing people as an instruction. So you know the Chinese whisper game, when I whisper a sentence in an ear and it goes around. And how funny it was when we were children that it almost always goes wrong. It is because people are telling and listening related from their own reference. So are we then having the same discussion on the same level, or do we assume that people are knowing what we're talking about? So take an example. Please take in mind a relative small dog, blonde hair, dark eyes, long ears, long nose, and who stood in the mud even. Do you get that picture in mind? Are we talking about the same dog, or was it your reference that you were talking from? That is why during our programs we are using the proven training within industry methods for learning. And even now, if you still doubt the power that incorrect training has on the performance and trust of the employees, I challenge you to watch the remaining of this video in two examples of pure telling or solely showing instructions, how to correctly tie a specific knot. And if you want more on how good training on each level can be effectively used in your company, then contact me to know more. So good that you stayed to learn more. In this video I will demonstrate the telling method of instruction. So listen closely, I will tell you how to tie the fire underwriter's knot. It's a specific knot used by electricians. In Dutch it's called the elektricien treklus, and in German even Ankerstich. So listen carefully. Take an ordinary piece of electrical wire. Take it vertically between the thumb and the first finger, about 10 centimeters from the end. Untwist the end, forming a V. Straighten the loose ends between the thumb and the first finger of the right hand. Hold the wire at the beginning of the V with the left hand. Take the right loose end with the right hand and form a clockwise loop, crossing the loose end in front of the other end. Make sure the loop is about 2 centimeters in diameter and the strut of the loop is left of the main strand on about 3 centimeters. Hold the wire at the junction of the loop and the main strand with your left hand. You got that? Okay, let's move further. Take the other loose end with your right hand and make a counterclockwise loop. To make this loop, pull the loose ends towards you, pass it under the stub, behind the main strand. Put the loose end through the right hand loop from front to back. Hold both hands evenly between the thumb and the first finger of the right hand. Pull the knot tight and shape the knot between the thumb and the first finger of the left hand. Good. That was the instruction for the fire underwriter's knot. Now, are you be able to tie this knot with that kind of telling instruction? So probably not, but don't feel bad about it, because most people cannot do it either. And that's because telling alone is no good instruction. Now people usually cannot learn a skill by telling alone because things seem complicated by listening to the words alone. Sometimes it's hard to find the right words to use, and sometimes it's just difficult to describe a certain situation. It's hard to know if you have really given too much or too little information, and whether the learners have understood it at all. But people every day are being told how to do their jobs. So how many really understand how to do their work by being told? How is it in your organization? How much examples do you know when telling alone is not sufficient, but it's being used? And maybe this resulted in less quality, less productivity, or even safety issues. So now the next example that I will discuss with you is the pure showing instruction. So watch closely as I instruct you how to tie the fire underwriter's knot or electricity knot. Good. So, are you now able to perform tying the fire underwriter's knot by only showing instruction? Probably not, and again, it's not your fault, because showing alone is no good instruction either. And there are several reasons why showing alone is insufficient. In this case, you're seeing the knot tied backwards, because you're not in the seeing position as I am. Sometimes the job is like to be complete. So only showing instruction will now result in just copying the motions like a lemming, so performing that and not knowing why certain actions are being performed or how it should be performed well. So only showing instruction will just will do not know if the trainee really understood the reason why these tasks are important. And there are much more reasons why showing alone is not sufficient. So how many people are dealing with instructions by showing alone? So hopefully you can see the weaknesses in either telling alone or showing alone. Now people can perform a task by telling or showing alone, but it's not that it's efficient. There is, however, a reliable and proven method, and that's the 4 steps job instructions method from the training within industry. When it is used, we are confident that a people is correctly trained and understands the real ins and outs of the job that he or she needs to perform to do the job correctly. So if you want to know more on how good training on each level can be effectively used in your company to really increase the capabilities of the people so that they can make a step change as a person, also reflecting in the performance that they do, contact us to know more on how to perform good training and how we can excel your business in order to implement all those kind of techniques.